Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. Getting straight into it. Looking at the DXY on the daily. Nothing's changed since last week, except for we were looking for the end of this wave in here, and we did get a lower low in here on the lower time frame. So on the H4, we were looking for a lower low here. This may turn into a larger correction still. We get some sort of an A, B, C, and then an A, B, C, get a larger correction, and then more downside. But at this stage, I'd be looking for a little bit more upside. It's very difficult to trade. You know, we have a nice impulse up in here, and then we have like 3 down in here. If you got a little flag in there, you could look for it, but I don't really like it because you know, we got this nice impulse up, but we got a very deep correction back to the 78.6. So more than likely it can just come up here, just break that top instead of giving us that larger A, B, C. So yeah, you have to be quite careful. AU on the daily, we're looking for more upside. We're looking for this wave C up on the lower time frame. This has already broken the top, and we're starting to get divergence. So, you know, there was a little flag in here to buy. If you've missed that, you've pretty much missed the trade. Doesn't look like we've got any bearish divergence on the H1. So we do have 3 down in here. All right, 1, 2, 3. Looks like we may be getting a little flag in here. You could just scalping. At this stage, if you're buying, you're just scalping. And then you'll be looking for a larger correction before you look to load up on buys again. GU, it's actually going further than I thought. We were looking at this as bullish. We have been for the last couple of weeks. It's gone up and broken the top now. We're starting to get bearish divergence on the H4 as well. So now isn't the time to be buying. H1, we're getting that bearish divergence. So again, it becomes very risky, you know, to be buying up here. Becomes very risky to be buying up here, especially when we have that bearish divergence already. You may get scalps on the lower time frames, but they're just scalping. EU, nothing's changed since last week. This was looking very bullish. Yeah, bullish, and we're looking to go and break that top. I don't believe it has broken that top yet, but ideally it breaks that top for the wave 5. Yeah, it hasn't broken the top, so you could look to buy on this. It's sort of very messy. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. You'd be looking at some sort of a flat here. Like you get 1, 2, and 3, and you got some sort of an expanding flat in here. So you'd be going down onto the lower time frames to look for a little buy setup, even lower than this. You do have 3 down in here. So you do have a lower low here. So you got 1, 2, 3 down. You'd have to go right down onto the lower time frames, look for a little flag, and look for the buy. And again, it's really just scalping, breaking the top for the wave 5. And then, you know, this isn't the ideal place to get in, you know, especially for a wave 5, because we only need to break this top, and then the wave 5 can be complete. But these are your targets, that 123.6 and the 161.8 that I put on there last week. NU, nothing's changed. We're looking for more upside. ideally this comes up and breaks this top for that A, B, and we get that C up. We're looking for the wave 5 on this as well, on the H4. And put the targets on here. I'll quickly put them on now. So that first target is that 123.6, second target that 161.8. Again, what's it looking like on the lower time frame? Don't have any bearish divergence. We do have like 1, 2, 3 in here. So on the lower time frames, you definitely can look for a buy in here. I mean, you'd be going right down to the lower time frames to get this. You'd be probably going down to the M1, like looking for 3 down in here, and then a buy set up to buy, possibly to break the top, because this can be an A, B, C, and then you get an A, B, C larger correction before you get another one up. So it may become quite complex. It's really just scalping up here at this stage. GY, we're looking for this C up. It looks like it's following my arrow quite well. Yeah, we're looking for at least a 1, 2, 3 up. This may turn motive, like I've mentioned, and be a very deep wave to this. Well, it may even go and break this top because we have this bull hidden in here. So we'll see how far this goes in the following days. This was quite hard to get in on the lower time frame. This was a very deep expanding flat in here, but it was the same as this. We got this 1, 2, 3 very deep expanding flat, and then we got another one on the lower time frame in here, virtually identical to this expanding flat, just in a smaller degree, like this A, B, C, very deep correction. Now we got like 1, 2, 3. You want to wait for a wave 4, and then you could trade a wave 5 up. So I'd be waiting for a H1 correction and then look for a buy. More than likely you'll get a bull hidden there. So UY, a little bit different, but we're looking for that 1, 2, 3 up in here as a running or expanding flat before we get an A, B, C. I want this C up. You may have, well, you pretty much have missed the trade. You know, there was this one in here. This one in here, the 3 up, would have come back, taken you out. Looks like we've got bearish divergence in there. So again, it's quite risky. I would be letting this one go, the buy, and just because it would more than likely be very choppy. And then if you get a nice impulse down and a sell set up, well, this is what I'll be interested in to sell. UCAD, nothing's changed since last week. We're waiting. We got this nice impulse down after the bearish divergence, and I'm just looking for a correction in here before we get another one down. Sorry about that. We're getting pop-ups, so not much I can do about it. H4, just waiting for this to be complete. It may actually be complete in here. You could look for the sell. We sort of have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, impulse down, and we're getting a little bearish flag in here. So you could look to go and break this low. You see it better on the H1. You know, we got all that bearish divergence and a nice impulse down. We sort of got 1, 2, 3. I'd be looking for another one up in here as some sort of a flat, and then start to look for your buys up here on the lower time frames. The Swissy, I'm looking for a C up. I'm looking for this A. This is a very deep correction, B, and I'm looking for a C up. At this stage, it'll be a regular flat just to break that top, but this still may give us another one down, breaking that low, and then I'd be looking for some sort of a running or expanding flat to sell. But at this stage, I'm really only interested in the buys to to buy into this C up. It's very dangerous to do that at this stage. As you can see on the lower time frames here, this is very complex. So this can be like an A, some sort of a B, and a C down before we get an A, B, C. I'm not convinced this is over. This is looking very bearish in here. So it's very difficult to buy this until we get this one down. Until we get these three down, and then I'd be looking for the buy. Until that happens, I'm pretty much staying out of this. As you can see, it's very choppy, very hard to trade at this stage. EG on the daily, we're looking for this. If you follow me for a while, we've been looking at that as very bearish. It's come down and broken this low now. It may even come down and break this low. But we've broken this low, and that's the main thing we were looking for. Now we can start to look for any buy setup. H4, we've got the bearish divergence now. Sorry, the bullish divergence in here now. So ideally, we get a nice impulse up and a bullish setup or bullish correction, and then a setup to buy. By no means this is over in here yet. So we've got to wait for this to be over before we start to look for buys. I would be looking for sells. I'm only looking for buys. We're starting to get that bullish divergence. H1, we're getting that bullish divergence overall as well. So yeah, just what I'd be doing is going down onto the lower time frames, waiting for this to be over, and then the first impulse correction, I'd be starting to look for buys, even if it's just a C up. Get a break even or a little bit of profit, gives you a lower low. Just keep on looking for those buys until you get the one that goes. WTI, I've had this structure on here for I think just about a month now. This one in here did go a little bit further than I thought, but I'm still looking for this pattern, this A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, before we get the larger A, B, C. H4. This has been very difficult to trade as well. It's been very choppy. It's very hard to get into this. Lower time frames, you'll see what I mean. It's very choppy. I'll be looking at a flat in here for an A, B, C. Another bullish setup in here. You could give it a go. It's more scalping now. Overall, we are getting that bearish divergence, so it's more just scalping at this stage before we get a larger correction, and then you could load up on the buys. Gold, well, gold's hit out both our targets, this 123.6, and price action just went straight through the 161.8, the second target as well. So, you know, I mean, we're getting all this bearish divergence on the daily, so I'm not interested in the buys. We don't know where this will end, but it gets riskier and riskier. We didn't have any bearish divergence here. There was a bullish setup in here to buy. It's more for the experienced traders because would have taken you out, right? This is some sort of an expanding flat in here. Now we're getting bearish divergence down on the H1. So, you know, if you're going down onto the lower time frames, you're really just scalping the buys until we get wherever this ends, a nice impulse down, bearish setup, and then you could load up on the sells. Silver on the daily. We're looking for this wave Z up. We've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for this wave 5 up to the 123.6 and the 161.8 as the first and the second target. Like I've mentioned for a while now. I mean, it's pretty much, you're pretty much late to get in. There's been opportunities to get in. We had a lower low in here, a little bullish setup in here, and this has already given 5 up on the lower time frame. So you virtually have to wait for a larger correction. Got some sort of a like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, bearish divergence. So, wherever this ends, I'll be looking for a larger correction, possibly back to the 50 pip of this whole move, and then I'd be looking to buy again. Buying up here, with that bearish divergence, yeah, it's not a good idea. Wait for the larger correction. You could, like, if you're going down onto the lower time frames, you can scalp it, get some sort of a flat in here, and it's just scalping though, just to break the tops. Basically, you're in and out of the market quickly. Bitcoin, this has been very difficult. Very long drawn out correction here. We never got that wave Z up. This is becoming very deep. Like, we had that 1, 2, 3 up, impulse down. Like I said yesterday, this can be an expanding flat here, but really I'm only looking for the sell. I was looking for a sell because of this. Even though I said this can be an expanding flat and go and break this top. If this does go and break that top, well, more than likely we're going to get another one down, because this is all correction, A, B, C up, and then more downside. So it's been very difficult to trade. There has been, I mean, this is where you had to get in, or even in here. I think in the room we were looking at this. We had a ball hidden here, like I mentioned, to go and break that top. It broke that top, gave another 3 down. So you could have got in another one there. Starting to, you pretty much have to leave it alone now. You've missed the trade if you're looking for the buy. We aren't getting any bearish divergence here yet. So you may get a larger correction in here and a bull hidden, and then you could look for another one up. But until I had seen that bull hidden there or in here, I would leave it alone until we get that larger correction, and then a bull hidden and that bull hidden confirmed, and then we could look for a buy. Until that happens, I'd pretty much be leaving it alone. S&P 500, we're right up the top. Like I've mentioned before, we had that bull hidden in here. We have gone and broken the top now. We've broken it in 3 waves. If you followed me for a while, we were looking at this impulse and expanding flat in here to buy. It's gone and broken this top now, and it's even gone and broken this top. So we have 3 up breaking this top. So I'll be looking for an expanding, well, a running or expanding flat in here before we get more upside. So until I see this move down in here and a bullish setup, I'll pretty much be only looking for the sell for this down in here, and then I'll be looking for the buy. I'm not really interested in buying up here, unless you're just scalping on the lower time frames. We do have that bearish divergence there, but we have the 5 up on the daily. So I am looking for a larger correction before we get more upside. As you can see on the H1, it's still looking very much bullish, but up here, these little flags, they're just scalps. We even have bearish divergence on this time frame as well. So on the H1, so it gets very risky. More than likely there's more upside in this, because it does look very much bullish looking at the price action, but yeah, it becomes riskier. AU 200, this one's broken the top, but nothing's changed. I'll still be looking at for this down. This is very similar to S&P 500. Like we got like 1, 2, 3 breaking the top. So I'll be looking for another one down in here for a running or expanding flat. And this either goes for a larger C down, or it's just a C in here and we get more upside. I wouldn't be buying until we get this down and a bullish setup and entry to buy. This is where I'd be buying, not up here. H4, there's really not much. As like the others, we're getting that bearish divergence, so I'd be leaving alone. We're getting bearish divergence in there. The FTSE, I'd be looking for a buy here. We got this impulse up in here, and we sort of get 1, 2, 3 down, and then if you got a buy set up, you could look for a buy to go and break this top. Because I've been mentioning this is looking very corrective for upside, but it hasn't broken the top yet. The H4, there was a chance that this was a flat in here to go and break the top. It didn't go. Instead, we got like 1, an A. This looks very corrective for a B. We get a C down in here. Then if you get a bullish setup, you definitely could look to buy. At this stage, you could even look to sell on the lower time frames. You get a little correction in here, and you could look for a sell for that, like A, B, C. Lastly, looking at the DAX has broken the top. So, yeah, again, getting all that bearish divergence on the daily, getting bearish divergence on the H4. This may turn into a flat here as well, like an A, a B, a C, and then you get a bullish setup for a larger A, B, C. But at this stage, I'd be pretty much looking for a sell for this wave down in here on the lower time frames, and then be looking for a buy to go up and break the top again. There would be a sell on this on the lower time frame. Not quite. We actually have M15. We have a ball hidden in here. We haven't broken this low, so it may even go from here and break the top, or at least give us a deep correction to this move. So yeah, as long as this holds, this low here holds, you could look for a buy with that ball hidden. Yeah, I thought it may have been a sell. If this turns looking very corrective, well, then you could look for a sell. But at this stage, you'd be pretty much looking for a buy. I'll just go down to the lower time frames and show you. Like M5, for example, we're at a low, and we got bullish divergence in here, and this is the low here. We got an impulse up. So if you get, like, you're going down to the M1 to look for a buy, it may just be a C up, like an A, B, C in here for a M1. But if you're lucky, you get that deep correction, and it may even break the top, like I said, with that ball hidden. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.